Look at that super meter. It just keeps going up and up and up and up. I'm so excited to be telling you guys about this today because Arc Warlock is my favorite subclass. I ran Arc Warlock in D1, ran it in D2, and now at the very end of D2, this thing is just incredible. It has amazing crowd control, amazing single target damage, there's survivability there, there's some team support. This build truly is so much fun, guys. I'm so excited to be telling you about this, and all the background gameplay is from an Ultimate Onslaught that I ran earlier today solo. I finished it with like 1,300 kills, and I think I generated like 600 orbs. So this build, pretty crazy, and it can kind of go up in in-game content and be okay. In fact, I'd say this build's honestly better being run solo. The more targets you have to kill and jolt and generate ionic traces with, the better. So let's go ahead and just get right on into this. I am running Chaos Reach for my super because I am running the Geomags. The Geomags just make the Chaos Reach extend in its duration. It doubles its duration, and it lets you generate ionic traces for your super directly. So the super charges really fast with Geomag stabilizers. If you want to run Storm Trance, I think that's fine. Just run an exotic that enables Storm Trance a little bit more. We are running Healing Rift. I like the survivability of Healing Rift better. If you want to run Empowering, that's fine. Glide doesn't really matter. We are running the Ball Lightning. I like the Ball Lightning because it has good range, and when we're amplified, it explodes several times, and we are amplified basically all the time, so that's wonderful. And then for our grenade, we are running the Blinding Grenade. We want to be blinding our enemies, and it has a pretty short cooldown, so we like the Blinding Grenade. Moving on to our first aspect, we have the Arc Soul, the Arc Buddy. Good old Arc Buddy. I like the Arc Buddy a lot. Great team support here. All your teammates can go in there, get the Healing Rift, get the Arc Buddy, do a little bit of extra damage. What I really like about the Arc Buddy is when you are amplified, it's a bit stronger, shoots a bit faster. So that's wonderful because we're always amplified. Another big thing to point out here, the Ionic Sentry and the Arc Buddy are empowered more by your grenade stat. So the higher your grenade stat, the more damage both of them will do. So having a 100 plus grenade stat with this build is huge. I believe I have a 150 in this video, and I'm trying to get that even higher. Like if you can get like 180 or 200, I mean, you're going to be cooking some damage. So that's something to consider when running this build. Moving on to fragments, we have a couple key ones. The first one is Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target or defeating a target with bolt charge creates an ionic trace. This is going to be very important because we are going to be jolting a ton of targets with the rest of our mods, with our abilities. So we want to be jolting a lot of targets. We're going to be gathering a lot of bolt charge and gathering even more ionic traces with this fragment. The next fragment we have is Spark of Amplitude. Rapidly defeating targets while you are amplified creates an orb of power. Very straightforward. We're always amplified again, so why not create more orbs? Next one we have Spark of Resistance. This just gathers, or it gives us a little bit more damage resistance when we're surrounded by enemies. I like this fragment for this activity I was doing because it's very enemy dense. So, I mean, I was getting a lot more resistance. And then the last one, this is the most important one. Spark of Shock. Your arc grenades jolt targets. So our Blinding Grenade, since it's jolting targets, it's going to be able to stun overloads. And since it's a Blinding Grenade, it's also going to stun unstoppable champions. So our grenade alone can damage 2 different types of champions, and it's jolting every target it touches. When a target gets jolted, that, they're kind of overloaded with that arc light, and they will create an ionic trace when they are killed. Very, very important to run this fragment. Spark of Shock. Moving on to the gear mods, this really isn't that important. The only ones I'd really recommend is a double Ashes to Assets on your helmet. That's just because all of the arc turret kills count as grenade kills, and it can get quite a few because that Ionic Sentry's jolting targets it shoots too, so it can get a lot of kills pretty fast. So double Ashes to Assets is going to give you your super really quick. I also like Firepower. A double Firepower on my gauntlet. This is just going to give us our grenade back. It's going to generate orbs when we get grenade kills. So, you know, since we're throwing that Ionic Sentry all the time and that counts as grenade kills, take advantage of it and get even more orbs. Honestly, the rest of your mods don't really matter. I'm going to put mine up on the screen for you guys to see, but really just run whatever you're comfortable with. Now, for the artifact mods, this is a little bit different. I am running the encrypted data disk because it gives us access to one mod in particular, Dielectric. And what Dielectric does is defeating arc debuff targets grants bolt charge, which is incredible. We want bolt charge. But another part, rapidly defeating arc debuff targets spawns an orb of power and heals a small portion of health. Arc debuff targets, so that's when we throw our blinding grenade, all of those enemies it hits are debuffed. And when that grenade defeats them, it's generating an orb of power and it's going to heal us. So very, very important to know. There's a couple other really good arc perks in this artifact. We got blinding jolts, just blinds even more combatants that are jolted. We have taser tag, which is really important too, but really you just want dielectric. That's the most important one to have. The last thing I want to touch on for this build is make sure to run a weapon with either volt shot or jolting feedback. Maybe demolitionist wouldn't be a bad option either, but for me personally, I am running the Snipe Hunt Mark 47 in this gameplay. It is a auto rifle that drops from Sparrow Racing League. It can literally get jolting feedback in the left column and volt shot in the right column. So this weapon is constantly jolting targets and generating ionic traces, which of course helps the build tremendously. Back to the gameplay, really all you want to do is just spam abilities. Personally, I like to start off by throwing my blinding grenade. I blind my targets, which jolts them. Even if you're not getting the kill, you know, you're jolting the targets, and then you clean them up with your auto rifle or a heavy weapon. All of your abilities are getting kills. You can throw your grenade, say it gets 3 or 4 kills, then you lay down your healing rift, your arc soul gets a couple kills, and then you get a melee. That's your 7 kills. Even if you do not have your grenade charged, when you reach your 7 kills for the Ionic Sentry, it gives you your grenade. You can throw it, you can throw out your turret, it starts getting kills. Every time you are getting kills with basically anything you use, either your abilities or your weapon, you're generating ionic traces, you're jolting, you're blinding, and it all just ties in together. This build truly feels like a superconductor powerhouse. One thing is constantly charging the other. You're always amplified. You're always doing a lot of damage. This build is a super, super fun build, guys. I can't stress it enough. I hope you try it. I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of the footage.
Guardian, the enemy has breached portals to summon reinforcements. Find them and stop them.
Back in the field with you, Guardian. After everything with Clovis...